Today I'm going to be giving you a few tips to make you a better medical student in the most holistic sense of the word. So let's get right into it. Now we know medical school is split into the content part of medical school, the content you need to know, and the practical skills and the real world things you actually need to know to be a doctor. Today we're going to be focusing more on the second one, the practical things that will make you a better doctor. So the first thing to know is, in medical school, as a student, as a junior, you're going to be wrong a lot. You're going to be doing things and you're going to be making mistakes a lot. So the first step is, you need to learn to accept critiques or criticisms. You can't have a huge ego if you're studying medicine. No matter how good you think you are as a student, you're probably not that good. And that applies to me, it applies to every doctor you've seen. As a student, they were not that great. They were learning. Because the point is to learn, not to be great at it when you start. So you will learn a lot of things from people that will tell you, actually you could have done this is what you should have done, you missed this, why didn't you do this? So if you can't accept critique, you can't accept that you were wrong at some points and that you need to do other things, and maybe need to go back and work on a few things, you're going to have a very difficult time. You're going to constantly be questioning yourself and thinking, why am I not good at this? The point is not to be good at it at the start, it's to get better as you go. So take the critique that you get, take the criticism, take the tips that you get from everybody. Nurses, OTs, physios, anyone that gives you a tip, take it, listen to it, and become better, because at the end of the day, it's you that's going to benefit from it. And the second one, which ties in pretty nicely with that, is don't be afraid to be wrong. So if you have a theory on something, or you have a differential, and you don't think it's correct, but it's the best one you could come up with, go for it, take it, use it. If you are wrong, that's fine, ask for help. Don't be so afraid to be wrong that you don't put forward any ideas, you don't learn anything, because when you put forward the wrong idea, usually someone will respond to you, tell you that it's wrong, and they'll usually explain what you did wrong and what you need to do from there. So take it as a learning experience. The more times that you're actually wrong and you get an explanation on what you should have done, the better you'll be the next time. Eventually you'll see that you start getting more and more right, because you have the benefit of all the experience you've had and all the teaching you've had from the things that you did at the beginning, which has now made you even better. The third one is ask for help if you need it. Remember, medical school is difficult, right? And the practical skills that you need don't come out of nowhere. No one goes into medical school knowing how to do everything, how to take blood, how to put in drips, how to suture. All those things are things that you learn along the way. So if you have a patient and you don't know what you need to be doing, or that you've been given a task and you don't know how to complete it, ask for help. If you're not sure what a test result means, ask for help. You have seniors for a reason. They will help you. They are there to help you. And by doing that, the next time you'll be better at what you're doing. You'll know a little bit more. Maybe you'll be able to do the thing on your own, or you'll need slightly less help. And that works out for everybody, because the more you ask for help, the better you get. The better you get, the more you'll actually be able to do, and that benefits the team as a whole. So if you have a 2-month block, and you go in and you say, well, I don't know much going in, so I'm going to try and study a little bit through the block, try and get a little bit of knowledge each week. It'll do you a lot more good than studying everything right before the block starts or leaving everything till the end. If you do everything at the beginning, you're going to be so overwhelmed by how much you don't know that you're actually going to burn yourself out, and you're going to get depressed by the amount of work that you have left to do, because you're always going to be behind. There's no way you can cover everything within a month or two. So work consistently, set little goals for yourself, and you'll find by the end of it, you may not know everything, but you'll know a lot more than you did when you're going in. And if you leave it all for the end, you'll be overwhelmed by how much you still have to do. You try and do it all at the beginning, you're also going to be overwhelmed by how much there is. If you work at it little by little, you'll actually get somewhere and you'll see real measurable progress, which is what you want. The fifth thing is actually ties in well with the working consistently, and it's be reasonable, set reasonable expectations. Because if you set expectations that are way too high for yourself, you are going to fall far short of that, and you are going to be so down on yourself because you're going to think, I couldn't measure up to what I thought I needed to do. A hard truth, and one that medical students don't like hearing, but it's true, and it works for everybody, is that as a student, people have very low expectations of you. They don't expect you to know much or be able to do much. They expect you to be asking for help or not know what to do, or in some cases, you may feel it's to be a burden on the team, but that's not true. You're there to learn, you're there to upskill, and to get better. So if you realize that no one really expects you to know everything, that takes a lot of the pressure off. So you can actually say, okay, they don't expect me to know this, but I can learn from them, I can do better, and I can learn more. So at the end, you come out with, hey, I actually learned a lot, and I got better rather than I didn't meet people's expectations. Because the truth is, people's expectations of you were not that high. The last practical tip on how to be a better medical student is make sure you keep up with things outside of medical school. Whether it's hobbies you have outside, friends you have, things that you're interested in, even TV shows, anime, whatever it is that you're actually interested in, keep it up. You may not be able to do it as much as you were, but make sure you leave some time for it, because medical school can consume you completely and you don't want that. Make sure that you actually remain a functioning person outside of medical school, and by doing that you'll actually be setting yourself up to be able to do it for a lot longer. You'll be less likely to burn out, and you'll be a happier person because you'll be a more well-rounded person. It can be very tempting to say, well, I don't have time for any of this because I need to study, I don't want to fall behind. The thing is, there's so much content that you'll always be behind. Be reasonable, work consistently, work on measurable goals, but don't let yourself be all consumed by this system. Keep doing what it is that you love doing, and make sure that you actually stay who you are. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below telling me what it is you'd like to see me cover in future, and make sure you subscribe for more medical student content knowledge and practical tips. Thanks everyone, see you next time.